Hi, this is Pat Miller, the Gab, for our Friday Zoom chat. And I get to visit with all of my favorite people, but some are more favorite. And today is I guess it's an old favorite who's now become a new favorite. That sounds terrible. Brad Anderson, welcome from Benzina.
Thank you.
You are an old friend and a new one
Yes.
again.
Yes.
So, well, tell us, first of all, tell me what benzina means.
That means gasoline or
That's what
fuel in
they told
Italian.
me.
And the place that we took over was an old Phillips 66 gas station back. It opened in 1963. And then they turned it into a Meineke muffler shop in 1995. And then when I looked at the site and talked to the landlord, he said that he had one more 5-year option, the Mighty guy. So call him back in October. I called him back. The guy decided to retire. So we signed the lease in January of 2018.
And you
And
could really foresee what it came out looking like?
I would say I had a vision, kind of had the same vision when I walked into the empty space for the Rocky Mountain Diner way back when. And you could kind of, both Tom and I said, the bar goes there, the counter's going to be here, the kitchen will be there, the restrooms are here. And kind of had that same vision on this one where I walked in and said, okay, this is the bar area and this is going to be the kitchen area, et cetera, et cetera. And then we got Sarah Brown involved with Simple Brown.
Yeah, I know.
And she came in and said the exact same thing. So I knew we were on to something that would have a good flow and a good look. And so we knew early on where the pieces were going to go. But I have to say, it to me, it came out better than I had anticipated.
Do you have a picture with you? I don't. Of
I don't have it here
okay.
of the old one.
No, of the new one.
Oh, no, I don't.
Okay. No, because just the whole design is incredible. If you hated the food, which is the best in town, the design of it is you just have to go see this.
Yeah, it's unique. But it had great bones. The gas station, how they were that far forward looking when they
Yeah.
designed it for a gas station. You go, wow, these guys, they've got slanted full length mirrors, almost floor to ceiling mirrors that slant out by about 2 feet, and they've got louvered, not mirrors, windows. And they've got louvered windows on each side of the building, and just great detail to it for, again, a gas station doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's spectacular.
Makes a great restaurant.
Right, yeah, right.
Okay, so you decided you had retired more or less.
Pretty much, yeah. Still in as a partner with Tom and Jerry, but over the last 10 years, we kind of lost our lease at the diner, and we sold Choppers to Frank Schultz. And then I sold my portion of the Castle Cafe to Tom's son, Dylan, who was he was doing all the work down there. So that was about 2 years ago. So I've been out of the restaurant business itself for the last 2 years with Tom and Jerry, but now doing this one on my own.
And nobody told you you were crazy to come back.
Everybody did. Everybody.
Oh, okay, because I would have too.
Yeah. Yeah. You had a consulting firm and I called you up, you would have said, Brad, you're too old and you're too crazy. So
I don't care if you're old or young. At this point,
yeah,
it's too hard. Let's put it this way.
it is hard. I guess in a way, I forgot how hard it was.
Yeah.
But coming out of this pandemic and building the restaurant during that time and not knowing what was going to happen, obviously, this was the hardest time that I have ever seen.
So if you didn't have gray hair, you had to get it. Huh?
I got plenty then and more now.
Okay, so how did you come up with the concept, which you're going to tell us about next? But
Um, we, my wife, Annie, moved to New York City back in 2004. And so I was going back and forth. I'd go back to New York for a couple of weeks and then come back here to Denver. And I'd get all my stuff done in the morning. I was selling, and still am selling business insurance for a company called USI. And so I'd get my stuff done in the morning and then I'd plot out a 10 by 10 block section of New York City and walk it east, west and north, south. And I'd come back with all these notes about restaurants and this and that, and shops, watch shops and antique shops and whatever. And it was kind of making my wife mad because she had to work from about 7:30 in the morning till 8 at night.
it's her fault. She moved to New York,
Right,
not
just to pay for the $4,000 a month rent.
you.
So she kind of felt I was mooching off of her, but I said, hey, you can come back to Denver and you can stay in our house for free. And she didn't think that was that funny. But anyway, I kind of got caught up in the old New York style pizza places. Like Lombardi's was the first one. I think that opened in 1905. And then we went to Grimaldi's. We lived close to the Brooklyn Bridge and we'd walk over the bridge and
That's
stand
where
in
we
line
lived
for
in New
2
York.
hours. Huh?
That's where my son's apartment was.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So we'd go over to Grimaldi's and then John's on Bleecker Street and
Oh,
Patsy's up in Harlem. And we're going, man, this pizza is 10 times better than any pizza in Denver. And then we ran across somebody who said, boy, if you think this pizza's great, you ought to try this new style that's kind of coming into vogue in New York called Neapolitan pizza. And it's hard to believe there weren't many true Neapolitan style pizza places in New York until Anthony Mangieri opened up his Una Pizza Napolitana, which was down on 2nd and 11th. And we went there and I got to know Anthony over the years. And he was kind of like the character in the Seinfeld sitcom, The Soup Nazi, where he had 5 pizzas on the menu. He made every pizza. He made them 3 at a time. So if you had 4 people at your table, 3 of you got your pizzas and you had to wait for the next turn to get the other person's. And he wouldn't deviate. And I just watched him over and over going, this guy is a true magician when it comes to this style of pizza. And it was 10 times better than the New York pizza. And it was, then there's a guy, Roberto, who opened a place up called Kesta Wine and Pizza, and that's on Bleecker Street. And I just fell in love with that style of pizza. So was going to do a VPN certified pizzeria here in Denver. I know Marco's Coal-Fired Pizza is the first, and I think to this day, still the only VPN certified pizzeria in the state. But I was going to try and do the best Neapolitan true pizza that I could do. And I got certified with them and went to Italy for 2 trips to meet all the purveyors, the guy who owns Caputo and the Water Bufala farms and all of this. And then came back and found the location and then started with that in mind. But then fast forward to just about 8 months ago, and I through a friend was able to meet Brian Lockwood, who is from Boulder, but was working in New York at 11 Madison Park. And he had moved back to Boulder during the pandemic. And we met up and started talking and kind of came to the conclusion that, maybe we don't do the exact VPN because they kind of stick you in a little box and you can't get very creative. So Brian's saying, you know, Brad, we ought to, besides the double aught flour, we ought to put a little rye in there, or a little semolina, or some other grains that'll give it a little different texture, a little different taste to it. And you can't do that stuff with the VPN certification. So, and then with his imagination and his knowledge of flavors, which you've experienced with his other dishes at the restaurant.
Absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, he's a special
Yeah,
culinary
I mean,
person.
I know that some people, I don't mean to interrupt you, that call it a pizza place, but it isn't. It is, but it isn't,
No,
because all the other food, I mean, when you say Caesar salad, doesn't taste like any other Caesar salad I've had around here.
right,
Arancini, I hate. They're these little dried out rice balls. And when somebody, I think it was your cute waitress, Anna, said you have to taste them. Oh,
right,
okay. I mean, that's the best thing I ever eat in my life. You know, I mean, nobody can go without them. The
right,
guy sitting, strangers next to me, and every time I come there, gotta get the arancini. And the pizzas, everything, the asparagus salad. And I mean, you have homemade pastas. So
right.
it's not just a pizza joint.
No, no. When Brian came in, our focus obviously shifted to a what I would call a well-rounded menu of
I
delicious
would say
things.
it's
Not,
utterly upscale, fabulous food at a reasonable price in a casual setting. And there's just nothing like it in town.
yeah, yeah.
How's that?
Thanks. That's
That's,
you
that's my
can
review.
can we make that into a commercial and then we're
You
done?
certainly may. You have my permission, because that's what
Right.
I think about it.
Yeah, yeah. It's and we're hoping, Brian and I's vision was that, well, it won't be where a party of four walks in and everybody gets their own pizza like you do
We
at all
don't.
the, yeah. That we were hoping that you get one or two appetizers and a salad, and everybody splits
Going, we
that.
did
You
all
get
of that.
pasta and you split
We
that, and
did.
you get the chicken dish and you split that, and then you
Okay,
get
the
a pizza or
chicken
two.
dish, stop.
Pretty
Is
good, huh?
It's the best. I'm telling you, the only thing I ask is an order to take home of my own, because everybody wants. That's the best chicken I ever ate,
Yeah,
except
it's
for the arancini, which was the best
right,
arancini, or the asparagus salad.
right.
I don't know. Anyway, go ahead, chicken
There's
here.
there's some, yeah, the chicken dish was a funny, I hate to name drop, but I'll give you a little background. When I was talking to Brian about it, and I said, well, I have a friend of mine and his name's Craig Andreessen, and he's part owner in the men's shop, Andreessen Morton. And he was with another friend of ours, John Elway, at the Super Bowl when it was in New York. So that was 6 years ago, whenever we went.
When they
And
played football.
yeah. And so Craig calls me up all excited and he goes, BA, have you ever been to this restaurant in New York called the Nomad? And I said, no,
Friend's
I haven't.
favorite restaurant.
Yeah, I said, I haven't, but I know of it, but I've never been. And he said, my God, Elway and I are here and we just had the chicken for two. It was like $100, but it was worth every penny. Best chicken I've ever had. You got to come and try it. So then fast forward to 2 weeks ago when we were doing a little soft opening, and Craig showed up and we have the chicken dish. And so I put that in front of him and I said, try this. And he comes back and he goes, wow, this is better than the Nomad. And I
Well,
said,
my
wow,
friend Dave loves Nomad.
yeah,
And I must say, before I got there, somebody who had been invited to your opening told somebody who said to me, you have to have the chicken.
right.
And I didn't even think I didn't care about anything else. Everything else was the chicken. And it's not $100.
No,
That would sort of floor me in Denver.
Right, right, yeah. So I guess stepping back, when Brian and I were talking, I told him that story and I said, any chance we can get close to that chicken at the Nomad? And he just winked and said, we'll kill it.
Okay, I have a question. Do you cook that chicken in that pizza oven?
No, we cook it. One of the other unique items we got the Pavesi rotating wood-fired pizza oven, but we also got a Mabrasa charcoal-fired oven. And this,
That's why my things don't taste like yours.
yeah, yeah,
Sure.
yeah, it was about a $20,000 little 3-foot oven.
Toy.
But there's two manufacturers in Spain, Mabrasa and Jasper, and they look almost identical. I think one stole from the other, and who knows who started it first. But Mabrasa was the oven that we selected, and you put a layer of charcoal in the bottom of the oven,
Okay.
and then that's your heat source. And we'll throw a piece of wood in there to give it a little smoky flavor to it.
So
And
somebody knows how to cook here.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, and you'll do the salmon. I haven't ordered that yet. The same
Salmon
way.
starts tonight, along with our the crispy squid, which the squid we do
I
a
have
little
two
different.
things now I haven't had.
I know it. I know. And the squid I was kind of going, well, everybody's got squid, calamari, whatever you
Yeah,
want to
because
call
you
it.
had that the first time I was there.
Yeah. And I said, everybody's got that. But Brian again said, I got a way to marinate it and fix it so it's going to be different than any other place in
Oh, so I
town.
do have to try this.
I think you do. Yes.
Well, of course. There's nothing I won't try. So, well, beef heart you could have.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
So I don't want that. So the menu appeal, okay, and pizzas, and you can share them or not.
Yep.
And of course, I never have an opinion, but the clam pizza, of course, is the best thing in Denver.
Yeah.
And I think the mushroom is second best, but I'd kill for the clam pizza.
Yeah. Yeah. There's some unique flavors and flavor combinations that both Brian and our executive chef, Danny, who came from Acorn.
He's
who
adorable. He
yeah.
looks like he's 12.
Yeah, I know. I know it. But they both have collaborated on the menu, and I bring Brian's name up a lot, but Danny has been a very integral part of this, and Justin too, as our general manager, who also came from Acorn. But they've been able to put some great flavor combinations together that you just don't find at most other pizza places.
And just so people know, you have you have wine, you have cocktails, you have everything like that.
Right.
And you're very nice to zillions of little kids there whose mommy, I mean, I don't blame them. I'd much rather teach my children to eat that
Right. Right.
than the regular.
Yes.
And I don't know, I know you're having a hard time, as is everybody else. Your staff, whoever is training them, I assume it's you, is doing a great job because they are so friendly and so darling.
Yeah. Well, Justin gets the yeoman's work on that, and he's been great. He's created a team atmosphere and feeling that everybody's helping everybody out. So as you know,
that's great.
You might have 2 or 3 or 4 people stop by and pick up plates or ask if you want another drink, and it's it's just not, well, those are my tables and stay away from them, and I'll
It
take
works
care of them,
much
but I'm not
better.
going to help anybody else.
No, and they all have. And they all ask if you're done before they clear plates.
Yeah.
I can't stand that when they start grabbing. That's one
Right,
of my pet
right.
peeves. So that doesn't count.
Yeah,
But they are every one of the weights. I guess you've only been open 2 weeks,
2 weeks. Yep.
and I'm embarrassed. I think I've been there 4 times. Okay, well, we won't tell anybody. But
No, no,
guys, I
our
still have a
secret.
few things to try, so you know I
Right.
have to go back. Uh, and tell us what you're doing for hours.
Well, that's shifted a little too, but not drastically. Our plan was before we opened and before, I mean, we had heard some of the issues with staffing, but we hadn't put ads out and really experienced how hard it was going to be. So I'm thinking, well, with our team that we've assembled with Brian and Danny and Justin and myself, people will be knocking at the door. So I wasn't too worried about having enough staff. And I quickly learned that I was very foolish in thinking that. So we were going to open Friday lunch, Saturday and Sunday brunch,
Okay,
and
that's what
then
those other
we'd be
places do.
closed on Monday, and then Tuesday through Sunday nights. And then we realized we didn't have enough people to do that. So we are now open Wednesday through Sunday night at 5 o'clock. And Wednesday and Thursday, we close at 9:30. And then Friday and Saturday, we close at 10. And Sunday is from 5 to 9:30.
Okay.
And then when we get more people, both back of the house and front of the house, we're going to first do brunch Saturday and Sunday. We have what we think is going to be a great menu for that. And
I just want to know what he's doing with an egg.
yeah, right.
I live on eggs when I'm not sitting at your place eating all that stuff.
We eat
But
chicken, so,
I am an egg person.
yeah,
I can only imagine when I see what's turned up here,
right.
you can do to an egg.
Yeah, yeah. So hopefully, I hate to say a date. I won't say a date, but
Don't.
I hate to even say within, but hopefully soon we'll be able to add that little component. And then Friday lunch will be the introduction to our burger. So that's when that'll first get introduced to the menu. And then we'll, we don't really want to sell 50 burgers at night. So we might do something like, I'm a great copier. I don't have a lot of original ideas, but I go to places and go, wow, that's cool, or that's neat.
Your
So
copying is doing very well.
we're doing okay. But like at Raoul's in New York, the place down in
Oh,
Soho, which is a cool
oh,
place,
I know
they
that.
do a burger that's not on the menu, and they only serve like 15 or 20 of them, and you have to eat it at the bar. So we're
I
gonna,
can handle all of those rules.
yeah, right. So we're gonna try and figure something fun and unique and different.
Rose is a place way up in up that way. Where's Rose in New York?
It's in Soho,
Oh, different one. Okay.
yeah.
All right.
But Roberta's does the same thing over
Yeah.
in Brooklyn, that they
Yeah.
have a burger on there.
Whatever you're doing, it's working.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
fabulous.
thanks.
And it's just fun to go. And I assume just summer fun, and nothing. You'll be closed for it. Well, I don't know when 4th of July is this year.
I don't either, but
So I'm sure you'll be closed on the 4th.
right.
And I mean, you just have to keep us posted with everything going on.
Well, we will. We've got a good firm out of New York, Wagstaff Media, that's kind of handling our Instagram and
Okay, one more question. Do you
mhm.
take reservations?
We do open table.
Explain this though, please.
Open table. We are taking reservations for parties up to 5 on open table, and it's been busy. through Open Table. So a lot of people call and say, hey, we went on and we tried to get 4
Ta-da.
people at 7 o'clock and we couldn't get it. And I'm going, yeah, I know, and it's a small space, really. There's 70 seats inside. And so I don't have the luxury of,
Well, you have a huge patio,
yeah.
but I think, I mean, I hate to interfere. I have never gone to make a reservation where I've been able to get one on Open Table there. And it says for 2.5 hours on both sides of it. It isn't like I could come at 5 instead of 6 or something.
Right.
So just go anyway, because I don't think they're filling it up like every
Right.
single
Yeah.
day.
It's we're doing that for a couple of reasons, but the one is we don't want to overload the kitchen and have a bad experience for
Right.
the guests where it's taking an hour for the food to come out. We had a meltdown one of the early days, and I just said, we got to spread this out more to have a better experience for the person that's here. So we're not getting as many turns. We're averaging about 130 to 150 turns a night, every night, which is great for a 70 some odd seat restaurant. But
It's been open 2 weeks, yeah.
yeah. So we feel lucky there, but yeah, and on top of that, Pat, we've got we're not doing takeout or delivery yet either, because I could just see, especially in that neighborhood with Park Hill and
Might be there, yeah.
that we get, I've been to too many restaurants myself where we sit down and place the order and then the food comes an hour later and they say, so sorry that the food's late, but we got 4 or 5 big to-go orders
That's true.
before yours. So we had to fire those or the delivery. And I'm just going, well, I understand, obviously, but I'm going, it's not a great experience for the person that came to your restaurant.
Right.
So I said, I don't want to have that happen. So as of now, we're not doing takeout or delivery, but that could change at some point too.
All right. Details, Benzina, the address, the phone number, the web page, and all that good stuff.
All right. Benzina is at 4839 East Colfax Avenue. Cross street is Eudora and Colfax. So that is, Eudora is about halfway between Colorado Boulevard and Monaco.
Well, it's closer to Dexter.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm saying Eudora is kind of right in the middle of Colorado and Monaco.
Oh, okay.
10 blocks in, 10 blocks either way.
Okay.
It's about 20 blocks between the Colorado and Monaco, and we're kind of right in the middle. So that's our address. Our phone number is 303-399-2352. And you can get us on the web at benzinadenver.com. And we're on Instagram and Facebook, and we're loading up a lot of pictures and some great stuff.
Okay, and open Wednesday through Sunday right now, dinner only.
Correct.
Well, it's been divine hearing about it. Love you, love the place. I'm going to steal Annie and go again now that she's back to she owes you instead of you owing her.
That's right. That's right.
And to everybody, please like and subscribe to the Gab so you can see this show and our other weekly shows on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. As soon as we get done here, I'll be getting it up. And you might even be seeing me at Benzina, but I hate to say that because it's almost embarrassing. But I'll be there because I love it. You're great. Congratulations on a unique, amazing restaurant.
Well, thank you so
much. Have a nice warm day.
Thank
Much
you.
love.
Love you. All
Thank
right.
you.
See you, Pat.
Love you back.
Bye.